Hey there, is Dr. Yam, your Keep It Simple coach, and we are with another week of Alive in the Hive. So, how's everyone doing today? And let's get started with this week's live. Hey there, it's Dr. Yam, your Keep It Simple coach. Great to have you back for this week's series on how you want to shift your mindset and prepare for your launch as an entrepreneur. And so today we're going to be able to look at the differences between scarcity and abundance and what aspiring entrepreneurs face when it's time to make decisions. So hopefully one of the two, hopefully the one that's the abundance will be on your side. So anyway, let's get started. What I thought I'd do with you all today is to simply share some descriptors so that if you're finding yourself in one of the two spaces, it's okay. It's a matter of recognizing where you are today so that you can make the necessary changes in how you're making your decisions, what obstacles may be in your way, so that you can work through them and be able to move on wherever you are right now. If you are stuck, there are ways in which you can become unstuck. So, one mindset, or our mindset, I should say, is a sum of everything of our thoughts, our beliefs, and our opinions. That is what you have passed down from what you've learned in your own experiences as well. So, mindset isn't just something you're born with. It's something that is kind of developed and perceived based on the experiences that you've done that have impacted the way in which you behave. So, if that's the driving force that's going to be behind your actions or inactions, then you have to start to think about how you're going to choose how, or rather, how you're going to choose to adopt a different set of mindsets so that you can get on a different path. So, one path that you can get started as a business owner and be in a form of abundance. And then the other one is maybe being a bit more struggling, and that you'll find yourself in the land of lack, or what we call scarcity. So the important thing is that you have a choice, and that which path you want to go down. And so is it going to be the path of abundant mindset, or do you want to be on the path of a scarcity mindset? And so as a business owner and as an entrepreneur, you want to make sure you're on the right path. And if you have some needs, or you're struggling in any way, then definitely that's what I'm here for, to kind of help you move through that. So let's dig into looking at some of the differences between the abundant path and the scarcity path, and how it's going to impact your entrepreneurial life. And also know that it doesn't mean that these things will never happen, even when you go on your path of entrepreneurship. But certainly, as you're getting ready to get started, you want to make sure that if you feel as though you're in any of these spaces in the scarcity lane, then you need to figure out, how can I make the moves past that? So let's start with the good stuff, I like to call it. So there's the abundant mindset. So a couple of things about an abundant mindset. Let me make sure I zoom up to my screen a little bit here. So when we're thinking about an abundant mindset, a couple of things you want to keep in mind, and that developing in that mindset is that it's always going to allow you to live a more fulfilling and exciting and a successful biz life. So the thing is that, for instance, when you have an abundance mindset, and I don't mean that you're always just thinking about money. So let me just make sure you understand that part. But that abundant means, for one thing, like you have more than enough. You're not lacking or have an attitude where you're lacking for something. You have more than enough. So an abundant mindset revolves around the idea that there's plenty for everyone, not that you're missing out, but there's enough for everyone. Therefore, you can have a part of that pie: money, time, resources, love, opportunity, success. And so they're all out there to be had. So nothing in the universe is keeping it from you. It's a mindset of whether or not you are willing to do what it takes to go after it, or to at least attract it to you. And so if you're ready and you're waiting for you, I mean, it's out there and it's ready and waiting for you to have. It's just it's about you taking forward an effort to make those things happen. Another thing about an abundant mindset is that you welcome change. As an entrepreneur, it's going to be really important for you to understand that change is necessary for your growth. And it's also going to be necessary for you to actively seek out opportunities that are going to kind of step outside your comfort zone so that you can embrace the new ventures that you want to go after as a business person. You're going to have to take some risk and be able to ask and solicit people's work, show your competence, show your expertise. Those are things that are maybe a shift or a change for you. Plus, your market is going to change from time to time. So, if your market is changing, then you have to change with your market. You cannot be stagnant and think that if this is the one way that you did something, you'll be able to do that forever and a day. It doesn't work that way. So, you have to be able to be welcome to change. And you have to look at failure as an opportunity that you're going to be able to learn from, and not something that is coming out to get you and is always going to be like an obstacle all the time. Another thing about an abundant mindset is that you have to be a cheerleader for others. It cannot always be about me, me, me. So you have to have a willingness and showing your love and abundance for in that positive energy, and that you're happy for other people's success. Everything, I mean, it may not work for you one time, but it works for somebody else. So rather than being threatened by other people's success, you generally are happy and that you are supporting other people in their success, because success begets success. So if you're enjoying seeing other people being successful in their abundance in their life, then you're surely more likely to have that returned in some way or shape, form, or fashion. This is why it's really good to be inside of networking groups and in masterminds, because you're all are striving, maybe not necessarily for the same exact goals, but goals nonetheless. And you want to be able to cheer people on and help them to reach their goals. And then they'll do the same for you, and everybody gets to win at the same time. Another part of an abundant mindset is, again, an optimistic attitude. So, an optimistic attitude means that you have is positive, and again, it's another an attribute that, again, somebody who has to adopt that type of a mentality. Yes, you're going to have negative days. Don't get me wrong, but you have limited possibilities from the standpoint of how you see yourself in your business and in your work and in your community. And if you choose to have a positive outlook, then you'll see how things are happening for your life. Again, you'll be able to move forward despite any of the circumstances that's going to happen and go your way. So that's another reason for one, having a positive attitude. Yes, things will go bad. Then you have to say, okay, it was bad. You can even curse if you need to. I do it all the time. And then you got to be, okay, so this was done for a reason. What could that reason be? Maybe it's to make a door open for something else. So kind of think of that in that regards. That's how I look at it. And that way, you'll have the ability to process it and then be able to move on. And then, of course, you got to practice gratitude. And so here again is a huge part of an abundance mindset is your ability to practice being thankful and grateful on a daily basis. Even if it's the little things. Yes, people can get on your nerves sometime, but be grateful. Having a grateful heart makes a difference. And it's also going to make it easier for others to notice that you have a giving heart as well. And just that there are many small blessings, big blessings, they're all come in shape, forms, and fashions. You don't get to decide your blessings all the time, but be grateful for the things that you have, the little and the small. And then when you're able to do that, you'll have much more joy, more energy to you as well. And then you'll find other things to be thankful for each and every day. Some of you might even choose to want to even do like a gratitude journal, or just do your a prayer every morning, whatever is your little ritual. It's always something to be wake up and be thankful. One, that you woke up. If you don't do anything else, be grateful for the fact that you got to wake up the next day. I know I do. Now, you may fall into the trap from time to time, but certainly, as we enter into your life as an entrepreneur, you want to make sure that you're not going in with these scarcity mindsets that can limit your ability to push through and to persevere when it comes to starting your business. The first one, obviously, is a fear. Fear is a scarcity mindset. And what that means is that there's the fear of the unknown. There's going to be the fear of change, like I talked about earlier, which you have to be willing to have the change. And then just the fear of the future. You have to avoid those types of risks that you may want to have to take. You're going to try to avoid them. That's not good either. Remember, entrepreneurship is about problem solving, bringing a solution to other people, and taking a risk and having trust in yourself and your abilities and what product or service you want to bring to your intended audience. And if you're working from an aspect of fear, then you're limiting your ability to reach out and change other people's lives. Another thing you want to think about as far as a scarcity mindset also means that you may fall into what we call the comparison trap. And yes, there are successful people out there, but they're all at different levels. You get to define what your level of success is. My levels of success are totally different than my best friend's level of success. And I wish each and every one of them success and we cheer each other on. But if somebody happens to make, get a $2,000 gig and I didn't get a gig, then I should have got the gig. And then you start to put yourself down and then you just tend to see your self-worth start to plummet and you don't want to plummet. You have to be able to recognize, don't try to measure yourself up to other people's, because you don't know what they did to get there or how they got there. So you can't get caught up in doing it. It's a lot of energy suck at the end of the day. Yeah, you can have a little pity party, but that party better not last too long. Okay? There you go. And then living in lack, like I mentioned the other time, scarcity has you believing that you're limiting, that you have some limits and that you're never going to get anything more. You're limited with, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough resources. I don't have the opportunities. I don't get the love. I don't get the success. And that's just not true. But if you're thinking from the standpoint that you're lacking in those areas and it's out of an outside force and you had nothing to do with it, I'm here to tell you, you are wrong. Mindset allows that to happen. There are things that you can do to change so that you can have more time. You may have to prioritize the things that you choose to do versus the things you ought to be doing. What are those things? Another thing to think about are jealousy or envy or FOMO, fear of missing out, right? And so in those particular cases, we're talking about, again, it's hard for you to be happy for other people because you're getting caught up because of what they're doing and what you should have gotten. And so that level of envy it's not going to help you to attract and have that abundance coming towards you. So you've got to be able to, again, be giving, cheering other people on, be willing to have levels of success and be able to see other people succeed as well. But being jealous or being envious is never going to be a good energy source for you. It's also going to be an energy suck, and you don't need that. Just remember your worth and what you're able to do and be able to measure your successes. And that, of course, you're probably doing better than somebody else. That's how I always look at it. I always consider and say, well, I'm probably doing 10 times better than there's somebody else out there that's doing 10 times worse than me. So you can think of it in those terms, just to kind of put a positive spin on it, just for your own self. Now, last but not least is a pessimistic attitude, which I don't have a lot of tolerance for people who are pessimistic. I like positive energy around me personally, but with a scarcity mindset, your force is entirely around always thinking something wrong is going to happen or continuously having that pity party. And if your outlook in your future is dim and mediocre, well, guess what's going to happen? You're going to have a mediocre business and a mediocre set of income and a mediocre set of customers. What you do, you attract to you. So if you're having a pessimistic attitude, that's exactly what you're going to draw to you. So I don't know about you, but I don't like negative customers or clients. And yes, I'm here to help you, obviously, but if everything is going to be woe is me all the time and you're not doing the things necessary to make change happen, what do you expect that will happen? Nothing. So both abundance and scarcity have a huge impact on your life. It's just a matter, it's easy to see, of course, which one of the two would be best for you. However, it all depends on you. So the first step is taking your thoughts and make some decisions in regards to how you see your business life and your personal life at the same time. Let me make sure I saw anything. Okay. So I hope you saw that to be some helpful insight. So which path will you choose when you come down the road of entrepreneurship? Will you take the road of abundance or mindset, or are you going to take the road of a scarcity mindset? You choose. Let me know which one you choose in the comments or direct message me anytime. This is Dr. Yam, your Keep It Simple coach. Let's get busy. Bye-bye.